stories, how you use them.
T-minus 3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
All right. I found my board. Fantastic. Well, this is a suggestion that came from you because many of the most recent suggestions have come from you all asking about companies that are in the news. There's something interesting going on. So this week, it's Lululemon. Not like Lululemon, Lululemon. I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways, but the way, Lululemon, and this is what they're all about. Athleisure. And that's what they've been all about, and that's what they've been working on. But let's see what's going on. There have been some headlines of the athleisure leader, such as last week, Oppenheimer and Company, a huge New York bank. Good news for Lululemon is things didn't get worse. Wow, that's damning with faint praise there, and that's last week. June 6th, week and a half ago, actually. Then, one growth stock down 40% this year to buy right now. So even though it's down, Motley Fool thinks you should be making a bet on it. Then, from Simply Wallet, Lululemon Athletica, stock has shown weakness lately, but financials look strong. Should prospective shareholders make the leap? And that's June 16th. So there's definitely some mixing here. There's no cheerleading here. It's, well, what's good is that things aren't getting any worse, and yeah, they're down. Maybe it's an opportunity to buy on the bounce. So let's go find out what's going on. Those were the headlines. Let's dive in behind it. Let's start with the stock. So down 40% from a $516 peak in late December of last year, and this is the chart. Here we go. Now we're going back a full 5 years, and so over 5 years, 130 way down 5 years ago, to where it is now, 312, so it's up 72% over 5 years. That's not particularly great. It's okay, but over 5 years, that's certainly not earth-shattering. So you can see there's been a little bit of a story in here. We have a pop-up during COVID because everybody was home working out, looking at videos and doing online stuff. And then it dropped down after COVID, and then it got all the way up here, $516, right there. Now it's 312. So it's down $200 since, I believe that was December 26th. Merry Christmas, 516, but then unhappy New Year 6 months into it here. So what's going on? Here you've got this flying stock, and now you got all kinds of banks and everything saying good news that there's no really more bad news, and there's the stock story. So on the surface, sales look good. So let's go top down. What have they been selling? And all of this comes from Lululemon corporate filings, stock exchange, quarterly reports, things like that, publicly available. And if you go back to 04 to 24, over those 20 years, they have grown 32% growth year over year with a big pop right there and there. Due to COVID, as people bought workout gear and started working out at home and other things like this, and athleisure took off. So you can see there, 263x over 20 years with a crossing $10 billion claiming this year. That's their estimate, and last year it was just a little under $9 billion. Well, there you have it. So on the surface, sales look good. Revenue looks good. So what's up with the stock? Let's take a look. Well, they seem to be doing a pretty good job with direct-to-consumer and e-commerce. So company stores is the red. You can see lockdown, close the retail stores, and then you come back after COVID. But take a look at e-commerce. E-commerce goes up during lockdown. Why? Because if you can't go to the Lululemon store, what do? Order it on Amazon, order it from someone else, order it wherever, and it gets shipped to you. So now the e-commerce, or what used to be called direct-to-consumer, online store, take a look. It's actually generating more revenue than the company-operated stores. Now that makes sense, because what did COVID teach us? COVID taught us to order everything online. COVID taught us not to wait. COVID taught us you don't have to go out to the mall, what's left of malls, or the store. You could just order it and have it show up. And with those, everybody knows everything you order now has got that sticky slip right inside it. If it doesn't fit, stick that on the front, tape it up, leave it back on your porch, get it picked up tomorrow. So if it doesn't fit, it's fairly easy to exchange, get the next size. So nonetheless, one of the things that's here is e-commerce, direct to consumer is rising really fast. They're doing a good job. So revenue is up. You saw that revenue chart. Direct to commerce, direct to consumer, e-commerce is up. They're doing good. So let's keep digging and see if we can find some other clues what's going on with the stock. Well, a closer look explains the stock drop. So if you take a look at US and Canada, this is the net change. Remember, this is a percent change chart. So up percent, down percent. This isn't the actual dollar figures. Pre-pandemic, sales were up 21% year over year. Pandemic, bounce out of the pandemic to here, but take a look after the pandemic, because remember, pandemic was really over mid-22, end of 22, but now take a look, 23. Hang on a second. They're even below where they were before the pandemic, just in terms of growth. You see what that is? So now then, what's the stock market saying? Maybe we don't like the forward story. The backward story shows you how it got to $516 after Christmas 2023, but 6 months later, they're not telling that same growth story, and guess what's happening to the stock? And away we go. So now, why is this all happening? First of all, they got issues with younger consumers. Supposedly, limited colors and sizes available for younger consumers were frustrating people. The other was, a saturated market. So let's take a look at the saturated market. Lookalikes, low quality stuff, they're everywhere. You can see it. The fabric's not the same. They don't have the phone pocket and all the cool stuff that's there. Some try to do that, but it's definitely inferior stuff. 2 daughters and 1 wife at my household have told me, nah, the knockoff stuff, we don't even buy it. We only buy the real stuff. Well, the true competitors now are Alo Yoga and Vuori. And take a look. Are they closing in? So 90% of Vuori stores operate within half a mile from a Lulu. Think about that. 90% of their stores are half a mile from a Lulu. That's a competitor coming after you in a very big way. Similarly, 84% of the Alo Yoga stores also within half a mile Lulu. And a very interesting stat, any Vuori store, anywhere that they operate, will never be more than 5 miles from a Lulu. So in other words, there's one place or 2 places on earth where it's actually 5 miles apart. Other than that, it's closer and the average is there. Probably operating in the same, shopping complexes or malls and everything. So you now have competitors that are closing in on Lulu, not only with high quality garments, and I'm told that Alo and Vuori have very high quality garments that are copying Lulu's designs and also trying to innovate on their own. And if you do choose to go out someplace, you can make a direct comparison within a half mile away. Guess what? The sharks are circling. So now then, what do you do? You take a look at this. This is interesting. I went to Google Trends, and guess what this shows? Google Trends shows the search for Vuori in blue and Alo in black. Take a look at what happened around Christmas. This is coming out of Christmas. Guess what? People are searching for them. They're discovering it. Searches for both brands peaked. See, January 23, Christmas 23. Searches peaked there. But look, they had a peak the prior year at Christmas, and they've come up. This is called fast followers. These fast followers are coming to eat Lululemon's lunch. And you can see exactly what's happened 2 Christmases in a row. So the Google Trends definitely tells part of the story. So the stock's down, but what's next? Well, first of all, they got to win the younger consumers. Colors, styles, sizes, and things so that they truly expand it. Because younger consumers don't have a 20-year relationship with you dating back to 2004. Younger consumers have to be one today when Alo and Vuori are right there in front of them as well. And they have to manage the shift in market position. They were the cool startup new kid 15, 20 years ago. Now they're the targeted leader. They are the grown-up. They are the ones that Alo and Vuori are targeting. Very important. So when you think about what's next, this is what they have to do. They have to fight off them with this positioning that's being thrust upon them, and they have to win the younger consumers that don't particularly care that they've been around for 20 years and they do not have 20 years of brand affinity. Maybe their mom does, maybe someone in their family does, maybe an aunt or a much older sister does, or someone, but certainly not them. They have to be won today, and that is the lesson for you and me. You can't take advantage of your old customers' perceptions about you and assume those are going to transfer to new customers. The war has to be fought and won every day of the week. And that, my friends, is what's going on with Lululemon. And there are some stockbrokers and big banks out there that seem to think that even though they're down 40%, they're going to be fighting, and there's a bounce coming in the second quarter and third quarter. It gets announced and rolling into Christmas this year. But if that bounce is coming, it's only coming because they were able to outflank Alo and Vuori, because they're coming and they're coming fast. I hope that was helpful to you. If you like that case study, here's two more from the Biz Doc archive. And as I like to say, I'm Tom Ellsworth, the Biz Doc, and I hope I left you better than I found you.